Let us now begin with technical session 4. Snehal Patel ma'am will be presenting her presentation.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Myself Snehal Patel, a faculty member of the BMS department. Today I am presenting my research paper on the topic A Study on Problems Faced by the Rural Entrepreneurs in India. So let us start with the introduction to the rural entrepreneurship. Introduction. Rural entrepreneurs are those who carry out the entrepreneurial activities by establishing the industrial and the business units in the rural sectors of the economy. The concept of rural entrepreneurship is quite similar to that of urban entrepreneurship, but there is a slight variation between the two concepts. When industrial advancement is done in the urban areas of the economy, then it is called as a urban entrepreneurship. And when any entrepreneurship is based upon the welfare and upbringing of the people who are residing in the remote areas of the economy, and it is called as a rural entrepreneurship. In simple words, we can say that doing the industrialization in the economically backward areas of the economy is called as a rural entrepreneurship. Next is why there is a need for a rural entrepreneurship in India. As the people are migrating from rural areas to urban areas due to lack of job opportunities, and also at the same time, the rural youth is unable to find any options for their future growth. So it is not only bad for the rural areas, as the rural areas do not have any options for youth, but it also put the equal pressure on the infrastructures and the amenities in the urban areas. However, a large number of the products and the services are available in the remote areas, but people do not know and they do not have any inventive ideas how to utilize these resources in a proper manner. And this is the reason why the rural entrepreneurship is highly required to be developed, especially in a small villages, and why the thought of the people need to be developed in the remote areas of the economy. Objectives of the study. The present study is broadly focuses on the three broad objectives. The first is to study the major problem faced by the rural entrepreneurs in India. Second, to suggest some remedial measures to solve the problem faced by the rural entrepreneurs. And third, to find out the opportunities available for a new entrepreneurs in rural areas. Research methodology. This research is basically a descriptive in nature and the data is gathered from the both primary as well as the secondary sources. The primary data is collected through a personal interview method and the secondary data is gathered from the various published sources such as a journal, corporate, magazines, periodicals, articles and by referring the scholarly papers of the various nationals and the international scholars. The study has shown that there are several problems faced by the rural entrepreneurs in India. The first is paucity of the funds. The paucity of the funds means insufficient availability of the funds. As in when the rural entrepreneurs are approaching for a loans to various private and the commercial sector banks, then then it creates a lot of problem. The rural entrepreneurs are usually facing a lot of problems, such as they are getting loans at a very high rate of interest, and at the same time, it also involves a lot of paperwork, which is further a time-consuming process and often delays, and as such, which further disappoints the rural entrepreneurs. The next problem is competitions. The rural entrepreneurs are facing a severe and stiff competition from the various large-size industries which are operating in the urban areas of the economy. This is mainly because the urban areas are highly developed area. Here, the entrepreneurs are having a they are highly skilled, efficient, and experienced people, and in urban areas the funds are also very easily available. But at the same time, the rural entrepreneurs are facing the problems of obtaining the adequate funds from the appropriate sources, and as such, they are still lag behind as compared to urban entrepreneurs. The next is middlemen. The middlemen often exploit the rural entrepreneurs. This is mainly because the rural entrepreneurs are completely dependent upon the middleman for promoting and doing the marketing of various goods and services for their product. And as such, they are promoting their products and services at not free of cost but charging a handsome amount of profit margin. and as such they further get exploited by the middleman. The next is risk element. The rural entrepreneurs are usually having a less risk-bearing capacity. This is mainly due to a shortages of funds and the lack of external support from the government. They are not having a adequate. They are not getting the adequate funds to finance their uh, sh- short-term startup business. And at the same time, the governments are also not supporting them by providing the adequate subsidies on the time. And as such, they are lag behind as compared to the urban entrepreneurs. Lack of technical knowledge. The rural entrepreneurs suffer severe problem of lack of technical knowledge. As such, the being an illiterate person, it is being a illiterate. Usually, the people who are residing in rural areas, they are not much qualified and mostly semi-skilled workers. And providing the proper training to a semi-skilled worker is really a difficult and challenging job. And as such, it further creates various problems for developing the rural entrepreneurship-based programs in rural areas. Lack of infrastructure facilities. The growth of rural entrepreneurs is not very much healthy in spite of various efforts made by the government. This is mainly due to inadequate infrastructure facilities in the rural areas. Nowadays, also we can see there are many states which are facing infrastructure facilities problem uh, Bihar, UP. People are still facing in remote areas. The people are still facing the problem of shortage of electricity, shortage of water, and as such, in such areas, starting up the small scale business is really a difficult and challenging job for the rural entrepreneurs. Poor quality of the products. Another important problem is the growth of a rural entrepreneurship is the inferior quality of the products produced. This is mainly due to a lack of availability of the standard tools and equipments of productions are not available. The last one is the negative attitude. The environment in which the rural people are living is completely narrow-minded. The people are not ready to accept the rural entrepreneurship as a career opportunity. This is mainly because the people are not aware of that what are the various opportunities are available in the rural areas. How in the rural areas also the business industries can be set up, and as such, the rural entrepreneurs are still lag behind as compared to urban entrepreneurs. The following are some of the measures that can be taken to develop the to overcome the problems of rural entrepreneurship in India. The first is creating a strong raw material base, making an arrangement of adequate funds. The government should provide the common production and marketing funds, development of entrepreneurial aptitude and the competencies. The various school, college, and university level, the student must be given a uh, education campaign in this campaign the student must be made aware about how the rural entrepreneurship can be taken as a career opportunity in the near future, creating awareness about the various facilities which are available in the rural areas. So the new entrepreneurs who are thinking to start up the small scale industries, especially in the remote areas of the economy, the backward areas, they will come and they are going to come forward and they will take initiatives and they are going to aware of what are the facilities, what are the strength point of that particular rural areas, institutional training, and the role of a non-government organization. At the same time, the various institutional training program must be started where the new entrepreneurs are given education about the rural entrepreneurship campaigns, and at the same time the non-government organization must also provide various subsidies to the rural entrepreneurs on time to time, which will further boost the morale of the new entrepreneurs, and as such they will come forward and they will think to and they will think to start a new business in rural areas of the economy. At last, I want to conclude this PPT by saying that the rural entrepreneurship is a key figure in economic progress of India. The rural entrepreneurship is a way of converting the developing country into a developed nation. The rural entrepreneurship is the answer to a removal of poverty in India, and therefore there should be a more stress should be given on the integrated rural development programs. This problem can be solved. The problem of rural entrepreneurship can be solved only when the today's youth are considering or thinking entrepreneurship as a career option. Apart from that, the grading and standardization should be promoted and the promotional activity should be enhanced. The NGO should be provided full support by the government. And at last, this encouraging the rural entrepreneurship in India is possible only when today's youth are thinking to start up today's youth are thinking to take initiatives for the near future, especially in the areas where the no new industries have been set up. Then only the India's advancement is going to be happen. At last, I want to say thank you.
So much, Snehal Patel ma'am, for your presentation. Now, Mr. Ganesh Akula will be presenting his presentation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ganesh Akula, and my topic is issues and management strategies of franchises, startups, formation, Kansa Thali. Let me introduce to what is franchisee. A franchisee business is a type of business in which an individual or a group has been granted the rights to make a company's market a company's goods or services within a certain location. The owner licenses its operations along with product, branding, and knowledge in exchange of a franchisee fee. The person who gives the license is known as franchisor, and the person who takes the license is referred as franchisee. The key rule of the franchisee is that the franchisors are required to disclose its key operating information to the franchisee. The objective of this research is to identify the issues of an entrepreneur for establishing a franchisee startup and to understand the strategies of an entrepreneur to grow the franchisee business. The basic process of to establish a franchisee business is the first step is to identify in which sector you want to start a business and of which brand you want to take the franchisee of. For example, in fast food sector, you can take franchisees of KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Domino's, etc. And if you want to go in medicals, you can take franchisee of Wellness Forever, Zeno Health, etc., etc. The second step is to know the requirements of the franchisor. Every franchisor has a different requirements, and you need to check whether you can fulfill their requirements or not, and you have to decide accordingly. The third step is to approach the franchisor, and the fourth step is to hire the staff. In today's pandemic situation, it is very difficult to hire a proper staff who will stay with you in long term. And the fifth step is to market yourself in your locality, because the although the franchisor will do the advertising for you, but you still need to let the local people know that you are going to start, or you exist in their colony. The last step is to train the staff. Issues faced by the franchisee. The common issues that are faced by the franchisees are that they are unable to fulfill the requirement of the franchisor. That's why we should also always check or research before selecting a franchisee. Finding the suitable location. It is really important to find a suitable location, that because a location will decide whether your business will work out or not. To make the target audience aware about the product, about your existing, the next issue faced by the franchisee are the lengthy process of paperwork and terms and conditions. Even government approvals takes a long time. Scope and limitation of these systems are: the first scope is that the franchisee gets a recognized business. The franchisee are already running a well marketed business. The franchisee does not need to market such much as they get an already established brand name to use. The business is already set, and so there is a low failure rate. The limitation of this are: the franchisee does not have 100% rights. She is restricted from taking any independent decisions. The initial capital required for any franchisee to start is very high. As for example, KFC requires a minimum capital of 2 to 4 crores, which is very high. The last limitation of this system is that in addition to the initial investment, the franchisee needs other miscellaneous cost, which adds on to his investment, and it really becomes difficult for for a franchisee to take so much of risk. How to plan the growth of business and implement strategies. In case of this your Kansa Thali's business, one can do is sell weekly or monthly packages, uh like take it, buy our monthly package and get 1 week free, or buy a 2 week packages, 15 days packages, and take 3 days to 4 days free, something like that. And they should, as this business is not that much well known, so they must give exciting offers like free trials, etc. etc. Additional machines should be installed at the outlet. As the customer base grows, there will be much more need of another machines and more need of space. So the franchisee must plan for his next outlet, that whether this business is successful, so that he needs another outlet or not. General points to remember when managing up a Kansa Thali business. The Kansa Thali business is very lucrative. Hence, the major amount of transaction are in cash. Hence, a trustworthy person or an accountant is required to manage the cash flow. As these machines run on electricity, there must be a power backup. In absence of the franchisee, there must be a manager, a trustworthy person to look out on the outlet. As the staff will be the max, as the staff will have the maximum amount of interaction with the customers, they need to be trained well so that they treat their customers very respectively and make them aware of their product as it is not mm, so well known. Conclusion: franchisee business is a lucrative system of business provided the entrepreneur keeps the following in mind. Proper research on the franchisor and the product must be done because starting a business is not about just about starting it. It's the main part is to research it, to analyze how deeply it can work out, how how much time you can give it, etc. Proper and in-depth research of the target audience, the location in which you are going to start. Are there the customers you require? Are they the people who require this product or not? It's really important to research on target audience. Well trained and maintained staff members, because staffs are the person who deal with the customers, and it is really important for us to train them sufficiently. Keep updating their marketing strategies as per the requirements. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ganesh Akula, for your presentation. Now, Mr. Rohan Benjamin will be presenting his presentation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rohan Raj Benjamin, and I'm a student of TY BMS. My roll number is 3, and my topic for research paper is Success Story of McDonald's in India. Let's begin with the introduction right now. McDonald's is an American fast food company founded in 1940 as a restaurant operated by Richard and Margaret McDonald in San Bernardino, California, United States. They resented their business as a hamburger stand and later turned the company into a franchise, with a golden arc logo being introduced in 1953 at a location in Phoenix, Arizona. In 1955, Ray Crew, a businessman, joined the company as a franchise agent and proceeded to purchase the chain from the McDonald's burger. The McDonald's, its previous headquarters in Oak Brook, Illinois, but moved its global headquarters to Chicago in June 2018. The development of the web, the rapid spread of cable and satellite around the world, and the global linking of telecommunication network has led to a coverage of lifestyle. The coverage of need and want has created global market for standardized market mix on one side and has also led to adopt marketing mix on the other side, where the company has to adjust its marketing program according to the target market. For many companies, global branding has been both a blessing and a curse. If not designed and implemented properly, it may ignore important differences in consumer behavior in the individual countries. Companies with vision and good judgment achieve excellently in international market. Consumer behavior dramatically differs across market. To be successful in foreign market, a firm must understand what makes those market different from its domestic market. But understanding difference is only the first step. The firm must then tailor its marketing strategy to fit the special characteristic of these new market. In general, companies that are successful at international market are patient, flexible, and willing to compromise to market their needs of the foreign partners and customers. Great brand understand the fine balance between making the familiar new and the new familiar. The key to being global is not strictly about offering a product or service which the local already have, rather leveraging the familiar in order to create something innovative like aloo tikki burger or tandoori pizza. Let's see the objective now. McDonald's main aim are to serve good food for great value in a friendly, fun environment, as well as being a socially responsible company that provides good return to a shareholder. These efforts towards process repeating and efficiently not only set the basics of McDonald's success from the standpoint of customer expectation, but also help McDonald's stay on the top in a culture where producing at a very quick pace is commonly expected. So objective here is to study the strategic goal of McDonald's, to study the customer relationship management of McDonald's. Success story of McDonald's in India. The India strategy was divided into four phases: entry, building the supply chain, aggressive growth, penetration. In 1993, McDonald's entered India through a 100% subsidiary MIPL, which formed two 50-50 joint ventures with Vikram Bakshi of Connaught Plaza Restaurant to manage North and East India, and Amit Jatia of Restaurant for West and South India. The staff were trained in India, US, and Indonesia to understand intricacies of business. Conclusion is here. McDonald's has undergone several changes since its incorporation in San Bernardino, California. The fast food chain has conquered the US and now it's focusing on the rest of the world. McDonald's, along with this trend, continues to strive forward customer satisfaction while still enhancing its international market position. The company is doing very well, and keeps trying in Africa, China, and Middle East, which will be continued source of revenue for many coming years. If McDonald's can overcome its challenges, makes use of advantages and right strategies, it will win the market again and hold fast to first position in fast food industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rohan Benjamin, for your presentation. Now, Mr. Achintya Bhatkar will be presenting his presentation.
Good morning. My name is Achintya Bhatkar. I'm from TY BMS Marketing. My roll number is 4 and the mentor is Kajal Gala ma'am. My topic for today is entrepreneurship in fashion industry. The fashion industry is dominated by big players of the industry like Dior, Prada, Gucci, H&M, and Zara, populated by star designers like Marc Jacob, Tom Ford, and influenced by fashion metropolises like Paris, New York, and London. Regardless of size and structure, every company in textile industry and apparel industry is in business to generate value by providing customers with products and services. The creative industry is a growing sector and one of the engines of the European economy. It is an essential source of labor, creates entrepreneurial spirit and innovations, and helps in growth in employees. This research has two main objectives. The first is to promote an understanding of fashion and textile design in relation to the needs of fashion, and the other is forming networking connections. The concept of entrepreneurship has been widely discussed in management and economics literature and results in a vast amount of variant definitions. Entrepreneurship in the fashion industry combines the creation and management of the venture with the specific aspects of the industry. It is significant to look at the concentration ratios of big players and small companies of the apparel industry in order to analyze the economic impact of small fashion businesses. A fashion design entrepreneur is the key that makes the entrepreneur process and sets up a business to integrate their design ideas into the marketplace. In this study, the use of mixed method approach was used, considering the research field as well as the implications obtained in the literature review. To clarify all the processes of investigation since its beginning, a figure was made. Each phase of the investigation is presented, separating the first phase of the investigation previously shown in the project before the actual thesis and the second phase of the investigation. The challenges of a fashion entrepreneur can be different between specific industry challenges and personal challenges. The fashion industry entrepreneur, as the heart of the company, has to balance creativity and hard fact managerial approach as well as to consider the industry related aspects. The fashion industry has a certain structure, mentalities, and processes which lead to specific characteristics of this sector that have impact on fashion entrepreneurs. There is an infinite amount of different products, operation methods, and individual requirements. This has, of course, also consequences for fashion design newcomers. The conclusion of the research is entrepreneurship can be seen as a recognized change, opportunity, risk taking, innovation, and economic growth factor. Unemployment is the biggest problem of India and its rate is increasing day by day. Proper education system needs to be developed so that sufficient knowledge is imparted to a person and he does not have to face challenges afterwards. The government has removed the spending restrictions of the Ministry of Rural Development, Health and Means, which will act as big booster in economic recovery of entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Achintya Bhatkar, for your presentation. Now, Mr. Varayu Chobe will be presenting his presentation.
My name is Varayu Chobe, and the topic for my research paper is Role of Managerial Skills in Entrepreneurship Development, Social Entrepreneurship. Introduction. The concept of social entrepreneurship is still poorly defined and its restriction to other fields of study still remain fuzzy. While to some of this may appear to be a problem, we see it as a unique opportunity for researchers from different fields and disciplines, such as entrepreneurship, sociology, organization theory, to challenge and change ground, central concepts, and assumptions. We have three objectives. This study aims to analyze the concept of social entrepreneurship and it further elaborates on its distinctive characteristics. It also aims to study certain restrictions faced by social entrepreneurship on day-to-day basis. It further elaborates the perspective of studying social entrepreneurship. The concept of social entrepreneurship. It is important to note the theoretical difference between definitions. Definition of social entrepreneurship typically refers to development of or behavior. Definition of social entrepreneurs focuses instead on the founder of the initiative. And the definition of social enterprises refers to the tangible conclusion of social entrepreneurship. Distinctive features of social entrepreneurship. At first glance, the social entrepreneurship might be thought to differ from entrepreneurship in the business sector, in that the latter is associated with the profit motive, whereas social entrepreneurship is an expression of altruism. Perspective of studying social entrepreneurship. The variegated nature and multiple expressions of social entrepreneurship make it a fascinating playground for different perspectives and literatures. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Varayu Chobe, for your presentation. Now, Ms. Sheila Chauhan will be presenting her presentation.
My name is Sheila Chauhan. I am from TYBMS in Finance. My topic name is Women Entrepreneurs Startup India. My mentor is Kajal ma'am. So let's start abstract. An increasing number of startups and new business have been founded in India over the last decade, the majority of them by men. There are many companies which is handled by a woman or a group of women, like Kamani Tubes Limited, Madala, Shop Clubs, Mobiquick, etc. Also, the government of India forms some organization in which women participate and lead the people organization like Niti Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India. Niti Aayog has launched a Women Entrepreneurship Platform WEP for providing an ecosystem for budding and existing women entrepreneurs across the country. Keywords: economic impacts, social impact, individual impact, environmental impacts. Introduction. The Government of India has defined women entrepreneurship as an enterprise owned and controlled by the woman having a minimum financial interest of 51% of capital and giving at least 51% of employment generated in the entrepreneurs for women. Women entrepreneurs means the women of a group of women who initiate, organize, and operate a business or enterprise. A woman entrepreneur is therefore a confident, creative, and innovative woman. They rise in economic independence individually and simultaneously create employment. The term startup refers to a company in the first stage of operation. Startups are founded by one more entrepreneurs who want to develop a product or a service for which they believe there is demand. Women-led startups in India are still rare as startups founded by the sole female founder are the scheme 5.9% according to the survey conducted by the Reserve Bank of India on the Indian startup sector. The pie chart. The government of India highest percentage of only men 55.25% and lowest percentage of the female 5.9% and both the male and female percentage of 38.6%. Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog has launched a women entrepreneurship platform for providing an ecosystem for budding and existing women entrepreneurs across the country. SIDBI has partnered with Niti Aayog to assist in this initiative. As in a billing platform, WEP is built on three pillars: Ichha Shakti, Gyan Shakti, and Karma Shakti. First is Ichha Shakti. Ichha Shakti is represent motivating aspiring entrepreneurs to start their business. Second is Gyan Shakti. Gyan Shakti represents providing knowledge and ecosystem support to women entrepreneurs to help them flourish entrepreneurship. Third one is Karma Shakti. Karma Shakti is providing hands and supports to entrepreneurs in setting up and scaling up business. Command Tubes Limited. Kamani Tubes Limited is the 58 years old manufacturing company that produces quality copper and copper alloy product which are widely in demand due to their uses in various electrical and electronic products. Under the careful guidance of our 100 chairperson, Padam Shri Award Mrs. Kalpana Saroj. Kalpana Saroj is truly a woman of substance in all the sense. Today, leading businesswoman and winner of Padam City Award in the field of trade and industry 2013. It is hard to believe that this woman who has more than seven successful companies under her name with a net worth of more than 1,000 crore come from a underprivileged family for a small town called Murtijpur in Akola district of Maharashtra. Methodology. The research study is a study of agenda of women entrepreneurs in Startup India. Startup India, stand up female gender. There is no difference between male and female. Women entrepreneurs have become an integral part of today's corporate world. Not only are they able to equalize their duties from both method and entrepreneurship, but also the comprise of almost half of all business owned. Many women are run corporate business in India and entire world and also get award the Indian tech money step to take up women like bank loan Niti Aayog Community Limited, etc. National Institution of for Transforming India, better known as Niti Aayog, was formed by a resolution of the Union Cabinet on 1st January 2015. Niti Aayog has the permanent policy think tank of the Government of India, providing directional and policy inputs. There are many forms reorganized by women and of for women for will living jobs, standard life. Some companies are chairperson details given below. Economic impact. If we as country accelerate our efforts today closing the gender gap and create a leveling field of men and women, India could gain of to 6.8% growth in our GDP, says a report by the International Monetary Fund. Second is the social impact. The social impact is the rise of women entrepreneurship has also led to women in exploring more than the STEM related field of education, create a more aware and a knowledgeable society. That ideas development for the whole country. Individual impact. Entrepreneurs want financial decisions like loan, tax, long-term financial planning, and investment. Over and above contributing to the economic, they are also forming a strong financial foundation for the family. Environmental impact. Women bring in a different mindset to building product and service. They are able to focus on important themes like inclusion, sustainability, empathy, and influence innovation. Them mysteries. Conclusion. After the researching and reading lot of articles and news about the women entrepreneurship startup India, I have concluded highlight some of the most prominent aspects of the company. Organizations such as Niti Aayog Women Entrepreneurship Platform, Catalyst for Women Entrepreneurship, and the Accelerate of the Women in Teach initiated by the Joint Startup India provide the dedicated support for women entrepreneurs. They connected them with relevant people in their industry and forest networking among the women entrepreneurs themselves so, so they can learn from each other experience. Moreover, they assist in fundraising by teaching how to pitch, the connecting them with the potential investors. Suggestion. Women Entrepreneurship Startup India aims stronger women and self-dependent, open more organizational opportunities for women to manage and help her in all sectors. Also give equal rights. Women entrepreneurs need more support from their families and social circles to pursue, pursue their entrepreneurial ambition. Literature review. Kamani Tips Limited and Nidhi Aayog is very well known in India and worldwide. So it's easy to collect information about the company and it could be found on the company website. This is Stefficence and thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sheila Chauhan, for your presentation. Now, Ms. Mansi Chavan will be presenting her presentation.
Good morning, teachers. Here I am Nancy Vikas Chavan, roll number 7 from TYBMS. Here I am presenting my research paper topic a study on women entrepreneurship and challenges faced in restaurant industry in India. Introduction. Women entrepreneurship can be defined as the group of women who take steps, organize and manage a business company. Usually, the females were not allowed much to follow the dreams, but it increased the education rate as well as government are supporting for new entrepreneurship or helping them to provide funds. Objective to study. First, to study the opportunities by Indian government. Second, to know about the challenges faced by the woman entrepreneur. Here are some opportunities faced by women. First, recent government initiatives. Second, introduction of GIS, one digit product digital mapping in India. Second, new cold chain comes in the scale, come to review refuse and boost export. Fourth, additional food process project. Talking about the challenges faced by them, balancing responsibilities, inadequate backdrop, gender differences, no business network, social expectations. Here are some findings which have been conducted through Google Form. We have talked about how much percentage of women are seen in industry line, empowerment increase growth of economy. To what extent do you agree the statement that women are dominating in industry or not? Do you think family responsibility culture the are reason for less participation of women in industry? According to the worst, most challenging part in women entrepreneurship. Conclusion. With each and every step toward the success, women bring other women forward and inspire to achieve what they want. It can be said not only in restaurant line but in every culture and creates a great differences for future generation. Literature review. Though there is a lot to understand about the challenges and opportunity every woman in every sector has faced some or other problems with respect to the hospitality of food industry, there has been lots of issues regarding to the safety as well as backup to them. This field is more considered as man dominating, so it can be possible that women face problem here. Empowering women entrepreneurship is considered as the important goal of sustainable development and narrowing the obstacles. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mansi Chavan, for your presentation. Now, Ms. Zeel Chavda will be presenting her presentation.
Good afternoon. So I am Zil Chavda and my topic for research paper is a report on trust model in e-commerce. Next slide. Okay. So introduction to the topic. So e-commerce means using the internet and the web from transaction and commercial transaction, which typically involves the exchange of value. Example like money across organization and individual boundaries in written product and services, so it is used. Next slide. Trust model in e-commerce. So trust is an essential tool for a transaction to take place both in online and offline. In e-commerce, the internet vendors as well as the website can be trust building source in themselves. So it is important for companies to learn how to manage customer trust in e-commerce. Next slide. Better customer service. So better customer service is offering amazing customer service is important if you want to retain customers and grow your business. Customer support is more than just providing answers. More than just providing answers, it is an important part to promise your brand's number to its customer. Next. Okay, so community trust model. So first, B2C, business to consumer, is marketing in for all business that sells consumer based products or services. This includes restaurant, grocery stores, car companies, fashion business, customer companies, etc. Next, B2B. So B2B is business to business, as well as allowing your customer to purchase your product online. B2B e-commerce solution also offers numerous benefits for business, enabling them to increase sale, optimize efficiency and reach new customer and markets. Next, G2C. So G2C is government to citizen, the electronic commerce activities performed between the government and its citizens or consumer, including paying taxes, registering vehicles, and providing information and services. So fourth one is G2G. So G2G is government to government, is a relationship between government agency. A successfully G2G has necessary resources for collaboration and communication between government agency with the aims of better servicing citizens.
Thank you so much, Ms. Deel Chawda, for your presentation. Now, Ms. Vidhi Chadbar will be presenting her presentation.
Good morning. I am Vidhi Chadbar, and my topic for research paper is product quality as a basis for consumer patronage. Next slide. Introduction. Product. Things that are available in market which fulfills wants and needs are product. Consumer patronage. It means having a favorable advantage on consumer by improving quality of the product. Core benefit. Benefit that the consumer is really buying. Standard. Level of quality of product by which a product or service is judged. Quality assurance. Managing quality of product to avoid problems. Quality control. Checking on goods to make sure quality is good enough. Labor control. Placing the right man on the right job. Next slide. Major findings. Which three features are the most valuable to you while selecting any product? So the most preferable way was quality and then price and product. It clearly shows the importance of quality of a product, and quality is standing out to be the first thing which customers look forward while selecting any product. Next slide. On what basis do you rate the quality of product? When it comes to rating the quality of the product, more than 50% of the people responded that the rate the quality of any product on the basis of its durability. Durable product being environment friendly. They don't even need to be repaired frequently. Brand name and after sales service were ranked second and third respectively below, followed by price, authenticity, and performance of the product. Next slide. What is the first aspect you look in a product before buying it? Again, the quality is the first preference of every consumer, which clearly supports our research product can easily lead to profit maximization and building corporate image. Next slide. Do you think that the quality of the product helps in building corporate image? As you can see the chart, 97% agrees quality of a product clearly helps building a corporate image and later it becomes a brand name. Next slide. Conclusion. From this research, we can conclude that customer satisfaction is crucial to your business and product quality is a first preference of every customer. Next slide. Suggestion. Some of the suggestions that are listed and explained are: understand consumer expectations, connect with your customers, treat your customer right, employee satisfaction is needed. Next slide. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Vidhi Chadwar, for your presentation. Now, Mr. Prahlad Chaudhary will be presenting his presentation.
Hello, my name is Prahlad Chaudhary and my roll number is 10 and I am studying in TYBMS and today my topic is to study the skills which make an enterprise successfully. My mentor is Assistant Professor Ajay Gupta and let's start with the topic extract. This is proof as a constable and enterprise affected of the extent to which a big five personality traits of openness to experience and extraversion, nutrition, and consciousness and agreeableness affect to integration successfully in emerging country. And let's start with objective. There are three objectives to learn about personality traits of successfully entrepreneurs and to identify what is meant to be an entrepreneur and to understand the concept of entrepreneurship and introduction is entrepreneurs who are the successfully in a taking on the risks of setup startup and rewards with the profit and frame and continue the growth of opportunity. Those who fail the first suffer of loss and become less important in the market and review on literature. This study used the systematic literature review methodology from the traditional 2003. We first set up out again an overview of a field and to identify our research objective in an individual and per analysis. Has number of the personality traits of interrogation was politic indifferent, the choice which must be limited and let's start with the main concept. Successfully entrepreneur known as a thing or two about work ethic. Most of the time, they are be the first to arrive at the office and the last to leave. If they are unfinished the business, they show up at office on weekend or holiday and work unitly job incomplete. These are the people who always work on their mind even if they are enjoy the personal time. Research methodological. Research methodological is a research methodological is a methodology from collecting all sort of information and data. Research data is collected through too many source primary and secondary data. And let's start with you can see in the PPT there are some example. Let's start with the conclusion. The topic of personality, physiological traits of interpretation is of the great importance for the study of entrepreneurship in a multitude of contents include the examination of the determinant of the occupation choice and entrepreneurship versus internship versus unpaid employment. You can see the reference in the PPT and thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prahlad Chaudhary, for your presentation. Now, Mr. Raj Dalvi will be presenting his presentation.
My name is Raj Dalvi and my topic is a study on challenges faced by the rural women entrepreneurs. Abstract. According to Ahmed, in 2011, a woman entrepreneur is a woman who has started a business and is actively involved in its management. A woman who owns at least 50% of the company and has been in business for at least 1 year. Entrepreneurship is a mindset that every woman possesses, but it has not received the attention that it deserves in India. Self-help groups. SHGs are regarded as an institutional innovation in India that promotes the empowerment of economically and socially disadvantaged women. An attempt was made to determine the most significant obstacles experienced by the participants based on the data obtained. Keywords: women entrepreneurs, challenges, empowerment, business strategies. Objectives: to identify the situation that women face when starting a new business and to research the growth of the female entrepreneurs. Introduction: the act of starting a new firm or revitalizing an existing one in order to take advantage of fresh prospects is referred to as entrepreneurship. The economic, social, religious, cultural, and psychological aspects that influence the formation of female entrepreneurs in a culture are all important. As a result, entrepreneurs shape the economy through creating new money and jobs as well as developing new products and services. Literature review: a review of many articles and papers collected from various journals has been done on the aforesaid elements of the rural entrepreneurs, that is, obstacles and benefits. In the year 2011, Davis investigated information based on the needs of women entrepreneurs in terms of service areas and delivery techniques. They also looked at the differences between entrepreneurs in cities and those in rural areas. The challenges and problems faced by the rural women entrepreneurs were investigated by Jay Kumar and Kannan in 2014. Their research was based on secondary information, the main content. According to Ahmad Zahir and Purnal and Noor in 2011, are the women who started a business are actively involved in its management and own at least 50% of the company and have been in the business for at least 1 year. Women entrepreneurs, according to the Indian government, are people who own and run a business in which women have minimum financial investment of 51% of the capital and provide at least 51% of the jobs. Women entrepreneurs are making an impact around the world, according to the Commonwealth Secretariat. Women entrepreneurs, according to the Shivadi and Maghmi, contribute to the economic development and becoming more apparent developing country local economies. Status of women in entrepreneurship in India. Since mid 1991, the Indian economy has seen significant transformation as a result of new policies. India is a rapidly developing country with severe and persistent unemployment problem. As a result, women's expectational entrepreneurial skills must be fully exploited, resulting in rewarding the employment and contribution to the kingdom's social and economic development. Activities of business without the assistance and support of others, a female entrepreneur cannot be successful. Participation of family members' approval. Research methodology. The study focuses on the broad examination of secondary data gathered from a variety of sources, including books, national and international journals, and articles from a variety of websites, all of which are devoted to various elements of women's entrepreneurship. Indian women entrepreneurship challenges and problems. Financial issues, dominance by men, technological governance, lack of infrastructure development, technology management, low possibility for hazard bearing, recognition by others, religion, marketing. The government role in the development of women entrepreneurs. The seventh five-year plan's actions and the government action over the course of the eighth five-year plan. Conclusion. It clearly demonstrates that we are now in the 21st century and women's participation in all sectors, particularly in the field of entrepreneurship, is increasing in rapid rate. Women are in charge. Women make up of 48% of women of India's population, but just a handful are executed in our country. Therefore, the authorities are concerned. This study clearly demonstrates that women are excellent marketers who prefer to work alone. Choose a family that allows you to maintain a healthy balance between family and business. Suggestion. To fight poverty and social discrimination in India, critical place for women in society needs to be accepted and supported by the society, family and women itself. Family members should be sensitized and motivated to accept the changing role of women entrepreneurs at home and to extend the support in handling multiple responsibilities. Women entrepreneurs need to be provided with capacity building programs for enhancing their self-confidence and life skills. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Raj Dalvi, for your presentation. Now, Mr. Ronak Desai will be presenting his presentation.
To study the challenges faced by an entrepreneur with reference to international entrepreneurship. Abstract. The international business environment is changing dramatically. Traditionally, competition in international market was the palatinate of large companies, while small businesses remained local or regional in scope. Objectives. First, to understand the fundamental importance of the global venture in today's changing world. Second, to introduce the concept of entrepreneurship from a global perspective, crossing national boundaries. Third, to learn the key difference in operating a business in a global versus domestic environment from economic, political, cultural, and technological perspectives. Introduction. Domestic entrepreneurs square measure distinguished by their importance on a production growth strategy and client specialization strategy. The assembly specialization strategy consists of that specialized in restricted geographical markets. Literature review. The problem which usually occurs, a license agreement that doesn't permit the right to sell the technology without prior approval from the licensee. Missing employment agreements that guarantee investors that key workers won't be free to begin a competitor's business once their investment. Inappropriately structured funding agreements with investors. Missing inventions assignments agreements from the key workers that are inventors of the technology. In several cases, institutional investors might merely go away from deals that need too much recognition as a result of these uncertainties and therefore the potential pitfalls. Why this frequently occurs? This mistakes happens a lot more often than not just because early stage entrepreneurs are alone targeted on what they assume area unit the foremost pressing things. Most early stage entrepreneurs become mounted on seed fundraising and incrementally advancing their products conceptions, however neglect thought of different vital aspect of the business. The eclectic theory of entrepreneurship. One of the explanations why policy manufacturers and students have had such very little steerage in understanding why entrepreneurship varies each temporarily associate in nursing geographically is that it inherently and knowledge-based subject spanning a broad variety of fields. Entrepreneurship policy matters. Applying the eclectic theory of entrepreneurship to those four countries has generated many new and vital insights into each the prevalence and also the determinants of entrepreneurship in the terms of the prevalence of the entrepreneurship. Conclusion: in order to have the best chances of success, entrepreneurs need to identify key milestones within each of these four development categories and manage and monitor reaching each of them. Be sure to select milestones that demonstrate to investors a reduction in risk for each of these components. Suggestions: studies at the small level target the decision making method by people and therefore the motivates of individual to become self-utilized. Analysis into the selection of the people to become either wage or freelance focuses totally on personal factors like psychological traits, formal education and different skill, money assets, family background and former work expertise. Studies at the meso level of entrepreneurship usually target market specific determinants of entrepreneurship like profit opportunities and opportunities for entry and exit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ronak Desai, for your presentation. Now, Ruhi Main ma'am will be presenting her presentation.
Hello, this is Professor Ruhi Main from Thakur Shyamnarayan Degree College. My research topic is a study on women entrepreneurship in today's generation. Coming towards the introduction, women entrepreneurs may be defined as a woman or a group of women who initiate, organize, and run a business concern. Women entrepreneurs are those women who think of a business enterprise, initiate it, organize, and combine factors of production, operate the enterprise, and undertakes risk and handle economic uncertainty involved in running it. Indian women is changing and they are fast emerging as potential entrepreneurs. Role modeling of women is non-traditional business sectors to break through traditional views on men's and women's sectors. Women companies are fast growing economies in almost all countries. The latent entrepreneurial potential women have changed little by little by the growing awareness of the role and status of economic society. Skills, knowledge, and adaptability of the economy led to a major reason for women in business. Women are coming forth to the business arena with ideas to start small and medium enterprises. They are willing to be inspired by role models, the experience of other women in the business arena. So, here we have come to know that women should be encouraged. They should be encouraged to start their own business. They shouldn't be always degraded. This is my view on women entrepreneurship. It is like as men are coming forward, even women should take a step forward and even they should start their business. They should try to prove their own identity. And for this, they need to take a very big step. That is to come forward and show their skills, show their intelligence, and also to encourage other women. So, this we are talking about in my topic. Now, coming towards the objectives of my research to account for improved economic growth and stability within a country, to inspire other women to start business, to spread awareness in colleges and schools regarding the need for women to take a step forward in starting her own venture, to motivate women to lead and live her life independently. So here I'm talking about what are the objectives. It is like when the woman is coming forward and she is taking a step in business, that is entrepreneurship, there is economic growth and also there is stability in the country. She also has to inspire other women to start business. She should also encourage, because only a woman can understand what another woman faces. So only she can do that. She should spread awareness in colleges and schools. That is, the college students, the school girls, they all should be made aware that yes, even they can do it in the coming future. So even they should be encouraged so that they will take a definitely good step in their future. And also they should motivate women to lead her life and live her life independently, not always depending on their father, brother, husband, or friends. It is like a woman should come forward and she should take a step and she should live her life independently. Coming towards the research methodology, this research is basically done from primary as well as secondary data. It is collected through reference books, websites, questionnaires, my own data, suggestion of my friends and family. Research is collected in such a way that I have taken the views of all my colleagues and my dear friends. Coming towards the findings of my research. From this research, we have got to know that there is a scope for women to enter into business and they are excelling in the entrepreneurship sector with great success. Also, it is known to men that even women are no less than men in this sector. There is mostly no discrimination made between men and women because everyone has accepted to the fact that women can also do everything whatever men can do, and women is having quite knowledge of business and she is now on that position where women is conducting business meetings, completing business projects and opening new branches of business and leading them. Why should men always dominate and lead in the business sector? Yes, this question always arises in our mind because right from beginning, we always see that men only is leading in each and every sector. But this shouldn't happen now. At least now the women should get up, wake up, and they should, if they are educated, like they are getting educated in good schools, colleges, also they should try something different to not only just work as an employee, but also to start her own venture or business so that she can excel in her life. She can learn new things. And I think this is more good for all the women. And I hope that whoever the women are watching this, I hope that I also tell them that yes, we can do something different. We can change the whole world. Even we have that capacity. Even we have that potential. So yes. So these findings I have got through my research. Talking about the conclusion, women entrepreneurs rate is increasing day by day, no doubt, yes. Due to the will of women to start something and explore, it has raised their share in business considerably. Women are not lagging behind, instead she is taking her step confidently and solely she is taking interest and excelling it. Women are starting their business by producing, organizing, handling economic uncertainties, taking risks, cracking deals and many more. Education is a new step to bring changes in women because education is the only thing which can change the women's perspective in her life. Educated women can change the world and can set a good example to all the women who are afraid to take any step on their own. Women working outside the home not only supports the home but also she is giving her contribution to economic development. Women should be encouraged to take a step in entering the business sector because now women are more knowledgeable and about how to start business, and she is very well carrying out the activities in a good way. There are many government schemes introduced for women in which they have been given the loans at a low interest rate so that they can actively take a step to start their own business. This helps the women to start their own business, and women are really doing a great job. So I conclude with the topic that women should be encouraged to start their own business, be independent, and to take such steps that will increase their economic development. So what are we summing up with this topic? That women entrepreneurs are increasing day by day. Also, she can take many good steps so that she will reach to the destination which she has planned first. Also, yes, there are many government schemes given by the government that women will get loans in low interest rates. So I think why not to take advantage of such benefits which are given by the government. I think women can do it really well, as how she can manage her home, she also can manage the outside world. She can handle everything. She has that power. She has that power. It is, I can say that from goddess Lakshmi or goddess Durga, like how they have proved their self. I know they are goddess, but yes, we can do something like them. Yes, we have the power. Only thing, it cannot be seen. We have to inculcate in us. We have to show. Yes. So this is my point regarding my research. It is like women should not be always degraded, or they shouldn't be felt that they are low to everyone, or men shouldn't dominate them, because even women have her existence. She has to prove herself. She is more confident, and she is more educated now, because obviously all women are getting educated. So I think it is the duty of the women to make aware other women as well, to see that the world will become a beautiful place to live on. And I think these things should be done by women. Only thing, when she takes it in her mind to do it. So I hope my points or my whatever motive I wanted to say, all it is all clear, I guess. So thank you everyone for listening to me. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ruhi Main ma'am, for your presentation. It was an amazing presentation. Now, as the technical session 4 has come to an end, we'll be taking a short 10-minute break. Thank you.